You guys have heard me say this in the previous videos so many times. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. Hi guys, Adam here today. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. Hi guys, Adam here, and today. But today, it takes a whole new meaning, a whole new purpose, because now we can look at things differently. So without further ado, hi guys, Adam here, and today I have got an interesting video for you guys. As you guys can see, I'm right here on the map, and I'm not too far off from the prison, and I'm standing right here in front of this raising point near the freeway, and a lot of you guys have seen this, and a lot of you guys, you know, some of you guys I'm sure know what this is, but for those who don't know what this is a fault line. This is where the fault line raises, guys, and this is really like the beginning of it, and I'm gonna go through it thoroughly and just show you the entire fault line, and furthermore define for you what a fault line is. As you guys can see, according to Google, a fault line is a noun, a line in a rock surface or the ground that traces a geological fault. Now remember that as I show you this. Now guys, now that we understand what a fault line is, let me now tell you why that is relevant to this game. Now, first of all, it is very important to remember that this game is based off and modeled off Los Angeles, guys. Now, there is a very key things that I will be pointing out to you about Los Angeles and California alone and the whole area around it. But there is one thing that it is very notorious for, very well known for, and that is the Los Angeles fault line, guys. Now, as you can see, this fault line is coming up, geological distortion. Now, what causes geological distortion? Well, think about what's in this game. Think about the possibilities. Now, a lot of you guys, when you look at this Mount Chiliad mystery, everybody just focuses on the big prize. Everybody doesn't pay attention to the big details. You gotta be a thorough hunter if you want to solve this Mount Chiliad mystery, guys. Now, everybody, including myself in the very beginning of this hunt, we're focusing on the jetpack, guys. Now, that being said, let me now show you why natural disaster is now a real possibility into being in this game and being part of the big majority part of this mystery. Now guys, let's look at the natural aspect of this. Now, what causes a fault line, guys? A fault line, guys, is caused by an earthquake. Now, I know what you're thinking. Earthquake in this game, there is no real possibility, and that is not the mystery. You're out of it, Adam. Now, let me show you something that has been discovered by the game 2010, and who was also, and I want to give a big shout out to him, also showed me a lot of key things, and we did some hunting together, and we discovered quite a bit that I will now be showing you guys. But first, let me show you what's in the game files, guys. Let's see exactly what I am now talking about. As you guys can see, according to Inquester, back before the Online Heist DLC came out, set_tsunami_env and set_avalanche_env were believed to be codes that are going to be used indicating that that was going to be used in the online heist. Now, as you guys notice, we did not get that on the online heist, and it was exclusively for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Now, this has been something that has been long gone and forgotten, but yet again, this is something that is in our game. Now, I want you to think, why would we get those codes put into our game when they're in the game files, but they were not yet used and we still have yet to see them? I want you to think about that. Now that I have shown you guys the reality that we have an avalanche and tsunami codes in our game, and we are yet to use them, we are yet to see them, it makes you now think, what is this Mount Chiliad mystery really about? What is this whole connection? You're going to show us a bunch of fault lines? What's the deal, Adam, right? I bet you that's what you're thinking. Now, yes, I am going to show you the fault line, but I'm also going to show you a ton of facts and a ton of key areas that make you really consider the real possibility is, guys, a natural disaster is a part of this Mount Chiliad mystery. After all, we have an avalanche and tsunami codes in our game file. Now, I doubt Rockstar would put dummy files in our game to be used for no reason at all. Now, am I wrong? Let me know in the comment section below, but I believe I'm right, because Rockstar has always, and I always quote this a lot, put everything in this game for a reason, down to every nook and cranny, and it has taken 2 years at this point to discover a lot, and who knows what we are yet to discover. Now, let's go ahead and continue this notorious fault line and a lot of facts that I will now be presenting to you. Now, guys, I want you guys to remember the definition of a fault line is a line on a rock surface or the ground that tracks a geological fault, guys. Now, look at this. Do you not see the cracks on the ground where I'm showing you? Do you not see what it's doing to the ground? It is putting geological pressure into distorting it, putting all these cracks all over the place. And once you guys research this for yourselves, and I really hope you do, you will realize it is everywhere. Geological aspects of this have to be remembered, guys, because yet again, this game is based and modeled off, well, not the story plot, but the whole town, the whole city that we're in. It is based and modeled off Los Angeles. Now remember, one of the things that I had told you, one of the key prominent factors about Los Angeles is the fault line. What happens in California a whole lot, and especially Los Angeles? Earthquakes. Now, you're seeing this for yourselves, guys. This is not made up, this is not pretend, and I have simply showed you that yes, there is an avalanche code in our game. Yes, there is indeed a fact that a tsunami is also in our game file. Why would these put this in our game file? Well, because remember, Los Angeles has a history of earthquakes and avalanches. Tsunamis? Well, I'm no historian. I've not yet to know of a huge tsunami to hit and take out Los Angeles. I mean, we've all seen The Day of Tomorrow. I mean, that was based off New York. And we've all seen that new movie with Dwayne Johnson and what was going on with that. And I'm not going to go off into that because, well, then I'd be in violation of the YouTube user agreement rights. Well, anyway, just to put it in brief and short aspects of this. The reality is that everything that surrounds us is not only there for a purpose, but it is there to remind us that this game is based off a town with a history that cannot be forgotten, because if we want to solve this Mount Chiliad mystery, we got to take in consideration every little aspect want you to pay attention to this. I want you to pay attention to the grass right here. Do you notice how there is a patch of grass and then a patch of distortion? Now the patch of distortion, a patch of grass, and then yet again another patch of distortion. Why would this be here? Why would it be put like this? Well guys, there is not only this particular area that is just like this, but it also shows and suggests that something has already happened here before, and something yet again could be possibly be in the making that we have yet to trigger. And yet again, just to reiterate a point, look at this fault line, guys. Look what it's doing to the land. It is junk. It is not even inhabitable for grass anymore at this point. It is destroying it. And yet again, right here, you can tell that something was once at this point before something had happened. What happened here, guys? Look at the geological pressure. Look at the cracks in this area, guys. Why would this be here? I'm going to keep asking you guys that, because I want you guys to realize that this is the reality that we face. We must face and accept the reality that we are overlooking a major aspect of this game. Everybody heard jetpack, and all of a sudden it was a crazy little frenzy fire hunting a jetpack when we're ignoring the simple facts of this game. The simple fact that we're overlooking was that Los Angeles has a fault line. Now, not only that, but natural disaster has happened here. Natural disaster is still in the making here, and I am about to prove that to you right now. Do you guys still want to be a naysayer at this point and say that natural disaster has yet to happen? As we just seen that little hologram. That was pretty cool. Look at these boards. What are they trying to protect us from? They're clearly there as a guard. Now, I want you to pay attention to these over here. I want you to look at this board. I want you to see how distorted it is. I want you to see how out of place it is. It is things like that that we must simply continue to look at and look at, because we are ignoring the fact that something has yet again happened here. Yet again, look at all this board. Whatever it was trying to protect us from has obviously been disturbed. By whatever is protecting us from. Now guys, I want you to realize there are several places just like this all throughout the game. And I'm about to prove that to you right now. Now, I know you guys may have some doubts still after what you have just seen, but let me just point out what this website says, and it is a scientific website at that, as you can see on the screen, and it reads, "What's a fault? From an earthquake's point of view, there is more than one way to devastate a city. Most earthquakes occur along cracks in the planet's surface called faults. These cracks may be small and localized, or can stretch thousands of miles where tectonic plates meet. Usually the rock on either side of the fracture are moving past each other too slowly for us to notice, but sometimes stress, in parentheses pressure, builds up and they'll suddenly slip, making a big move all at once. The effect of that sudden shift depends on the type of fault the movement occurs in. Earthquakes and the obvious case of avalanche. Now, I want you to look at this board. I want you to look at this paneling. Why is that up? Look at this cement barrier. Why does that look like it does have some damage, including the road a little bit? Now, let's go up the road a little bit. What do we see? Nothing, right? Now, what do we see right here? This section has obviously been damaged. Damaged by what? Well, as I showed you, we have an avalanche in our game files. Now, this is pure evidence of something coming over down on top of it, making this thing to bend down and break. Now, what is around us? Well, let me show you from an aerial perspective. Now, as you can see, case in point at the top of that hill, how it is all red. Note, look at the ground. Do you see how this is all junk? Do you see how the ground is rotted and disturbed? This is the fault line yet again, and yet again, more evidence as a clear and case in point. Something had happened here. It looks to me like an avalanche had happened in this area, and just as this area is damaged, look how this area here, yet again, shows evidence that something had come off that mountain and apparently crashed where this area is damaged. If you want to be narrow-minded, I don't know how much more narrow-minded you can, because there is just too much evidence, as I just showed you, that the fault lines are in this game, and they're in this game because of Los Angeles, and furthermore evidence that natural disaster is imminent in this game. Now, you guys can form your own opinion about that. That is your right. That is your every right, and you guys can comment on the section below if you disagree. But I will show you the pure facts, and the pure facts are there is a fault line in this game, and there is a avalanche and tsunami codes in our game file, and they are not in our game file for any random reason, because for one, Rockstar has never for one been to put any falsified files in our game. They all have meaning, they all have purpose. And if you guys haven't noticed that yourselves, that this nothing in the, that anything in this game has meaning and purpose, then you clearly have been hunting good enough, because it screams all around us. Time, location, height, altitude, details, guys, things in stores, cars, you name it. Just everything in this game, it has meaning, it has purpose. And I showed you, pure fact, that this is very apparent that something has happened here, as the fault line, yet again, resonates within this area. Now, I want to show you this fault line for a reason. Look at this. Notice how the further away, the more you notice how a lot's missing. Like a big old chunk is gone. Now, I want you to pay attention to the area. I want you to pay attention to the damage. Now, if something such large as this has come off this entire section, where would it go, right? Obviously through the street, and in theory, you could say that they cleaned it up, but where would the rest go? Did they clean it all up? I believe the quite obvious answer is no. Look at all of these boulders. Large. Right across from where this is. And this isn't just it. They go all along the shore. Like they came from the mountains, guys. Pay attention. Look at the detail. Look at the fault line. Look at the boulders. Look at the huge sections in front of us in the distance. How they are missing. Where would all that rock go, guys? Right here. And yet again, as we get close to these barriers, yeah, we yet again notice there is damage. And it goes like this, yet again, more damage. all along this area. And if you want to see that on the map, I just showed you all right here. This is all heading towards Chumash. And this is important for a very big reason. And I'll show you that next. Now, before I show you this, guys, I want to yet again remind you and reiterate the fact that this map is based off Los Angeles. Now, that being said, Los Angeles has had two major earthquakes in recent history, one being in 1992 being the Landis earthquake, and one being in 1994 being the Northridge earthquake. Now, that being said, I will now show you this, and then furthermore show you the fact that those two earthquakes were real in history. So, moving on. Now, I want you guys to see this. Look at the rock. Why would these have these boulders here barricaded? Now, you would think after the two major earthquakes in 1992 and 1994 that these would be removed. Now, that being said, the obvious answer is they would have removed them. So what does this mean? Well, this clearly shows and proves yet again an earthquake has happened and they are yet to clean this up. Now, that being said, I will now show you guys an aerial perspective of this. Now, as you guys see the rock below that is barricaded, I want you to yet again look at the surroundings. Notice how this entire area yet again is missing. Yet again, more boulders, just like the ones we found way down here, are very identical to the ones that we see here barricaded. So that goes to show and prove that all those boulders I showed you back there and these boulders here have obviously come from an avalanche in these mountains, guys. Now, that being said, I will now show you guys that it was indeed in fact that in 1992 the Landis earthquake had indeed happened, and 1994 the Northridge earthquake had indeed happened. As you guys can see, in 1992, the Landis earthquake was one of the most largest earthquakes that has hit California and the United States of its time in over 40 years. Also, according to Wikipedia, in 1994, the Northridge earthquake reached a magnitude of 6.7, which is the largest recorded in an urban area in Los Angeles. Yet again, I'm at the same area, just a little further up the area where I showed you where those boulders were. That it says, "Welcome to San Andreas, for all the safety of everyone." Then it states just about everything that there is to do at a beach, they don't want you to do. Now, why would they want that? Now, let me also show you yet again another sign. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this sign. As you zoom in on it, you can clearly see no drinking, no walking the dog, no fire, no camping, nothing. Not even riding a horse, as you can see, no smoking. Clearly they don't want you to do anything here. Now, another precarious thing about this sign is that it is on the wrong side of the road for it to have been read, and that there is no other opening. Now, the only explanation I have for this is that they want you to search for this sign and for the clue, And another precarious fact about this is that these two signs that I just showed you are only found in Chumash. Now, why? I will show you that right now. Now, remember, I showed you the importance of looking at every aspect of the game and everything in the game. Well, let me show you one thing that they put in this game that they really want us to pay attention to, and you'll see why right here as we go to the internet. Now, when you go to the internet, you click to search, click in AL, hit search, scroll down, and you'll see visit the Alamo Sea. Now, we click on that. Now, I want you to pay attention to that. Look at the weather. It says, still the same, 125 degrees Fahrenheit, and it says what? It says moderate to severe threat of earthquake, guys. That is a fucking clue right there. I have not ever seen one in my fucking life. It's like fucking watching Scooby-Doo for idiots. If you ever something, you know, if you guys know what Scooby-Doo is and you're familiar with how easy they find shit, and this right here has been in front of our faces, and we clearly ignored this. Now, I also want to point out the fact that this is not brand new information, but it's just information that yet again has just been overlooked and says, oh, that's cool, that's neat, that's kind of curious, but they never put two and two together. Now, it was not until talking to the game under, you know, 2010 that he showed me these fault line, and then I joined in with him, and I helped and contributed, and I helped him find. We both found a lot of good information that I'm putting into this video, and if you watch any of my previous videos, you'll clearly note that I clearly state I don't do this for the credit. I don't even do this for the likes. I don't do it for the subscriptions. Though I very much appreciate it, I do this, guys, to get the facts out there, guys. Just so we reiterate the fact that it is important to look at these aspects. And such an important aspect of this game that I've been pointing out to you this entire episode is that it's very important to remember, what is this map based off? Los Angeles. Why is everything in this game? Because of the facts of Los Angeles. The facts of Los Angeles is a very important one. That it has this fault line, and that it has the capacity and the capability to produce earthquakes and avalanches, which the avalanche would go to the sea to cause a fucking tsunami. Remember, I pointed and stated and clearly showed how avalanches and tsunami are both in the game files. Remember, Rockstar does not put anything in our game file for any particular fucking reason, for no reason at all. It clearly has meaning, guys. Now keep that in mind as I show you the next thing. Now, as you can see, I'm flying towards Mount Chiliad in the distance. Now, what do you guys see as I'm flying through this little area? I'll even show it to you on the map just so you guys can see it and investigate it for yourselves. Nothing but pure fault line. Now, where am I getting with this? Unfortunately, you guys will find out in part 2 of episode 9 of Mount Chiliad Important Clues series, guys. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with a whole lot of facts at one time, because there is still so much more information to show you, and I want to break that up in half just because, guys, I want you to digest what I've shown you thus far. So, if you would, please give me a simple like, and if you would, please give me a comment in the section below what you guys think about this, guys. What do you think about everything I have showed you thus far in this video? Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, because I do videos just like this, where I present the facts in the game, I present my theory, you guys put it together in the comment section below, and we take the good from the bad, and that is how we solve the Mount Chiliad mystery. Until next time, guys, peace.